Yeah, what are you up to?
Painting my Craig K4 pocket hole jig station. That I built it, now I'm painting it.
Oh, that's cool. I was wondering if you could make me a painter palette because I really like to paint.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
I also made this picture, and I really like to express myself in these, and I feel like I can make more of them.
Oh, that looks like you did a great job.
And I was thinking a painter palette would be really helpful since I don't have to bend down and get something and stuff like that.
Yeah, whatever your mom says.
Dad, I really want you to make me a painter palette.
Huh?
I really want you to make me a painter's palette, please.
A painter's palette?
Yeah, for my painting.
You like to paint?
Yeah.
Did you paint that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So,
all right, well, let's make a painter's palette.
Clearly, one of my strengths as a doting and ever-present father is picking up on the needs and wants of my children. Taya obviously wants to grow in the art of painting, and who is here to be by her side when she needs help? Dad. I could sense that she wanted me to build her something, and I picked up on that right away. So, a painter's palette it is. We have this piece of cardboard. I'm gonna trace the template out on this. And I have a lot of this maple 1/4-inch plywood I think would be ideal for her. I may make more than one, maybe 2 or 3, I'm not sure yet. That way she has lots of options for her. This is gonna be a fun little project, and I've never done anything quite like this before, but keep on watching, and this should be a fun one. The elbow needs to come into here, but I need to draw a spot for her thumb to poke through. So I'm gonna need her help in measuring her arm to make sure her thumb comes in the right spot. In order to measure it for her, I'm gonna have to cut this thing out first. Got my trusty Olfa blade from Japan. We need to size this to Taya. Taya, put your arm here. Put your thumb up like this. Hold your arm up like that. And we're gonna raise it this way. So we're gonna put the thumb mark right there. Move your thumb. Oops. So that's where the thumb comes through. We'll make a bigger hole so the whole thumb will fit easily, okay? And I'll make the shape a little better, but this just gives us a rough idea, okay?
okay.
So far, I'm not thrilled with the shape, but when I put it on here, I'm gonna change some of the angles just a little bit to give it a sleeker design. And I think in the end, it's gonna be very functional and kind of look nice. So it's time to draw on the platter. If I cut 2 at the same time, I can make 2 at the same time. Cut this out on the table saw, put them together, throw it through the scroll saw. I'm going to match these 2 pieces of wood together by using this tape, painter's tape, accelerator, and medium thickness black Starbun CA glue. I'm gonna measure, so I get the measurement just right, I'm gonna measure 4 inches on each side. And we're gonna measure 4 inches from this side as well. That way it lines up just right. We'll do the same for the top. Test it out, make sure it all lines up. Looks pretty good. Now just apply the glue to one side, accelerator to the other side, and hopefully this works. You gotta give it 15 seconds at least. All right, I think we're ready to go. Little tip for y'all, if you don't wanna screw in your scroll saw to your workbench, strap it down. My wife comes to me earlier and says, "Hey, what's that on your face? You got some orange stuff right here." Well, I look in the mirror and come to find out I had chicken tikka masala from dinner earlier. You guys didn't say nothing, and I didn't know I had on my face this whole time, and thanks a lot. Well, either way, if you like chicken tikka masala, which we really did that night, I'm going to put a link in the description. Click on the link, go to Amazon, buy yourself your own. Then you'll know how delicious this was, and maybe you won't blame me for having it all over my face earlier. Here's a pro tip for you. When using Forstner bits, it's easy to get tear out when you're drilling into a piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop it in reverse, put the point right on the circle dot where we want it, and we're going to go in reverse first to score a line. Now we're going to put it back in the right direction, pop it right in the center there. Of course, it helps if your battery's all the way charged. Note to self, charge batteries. So I realized I can't do a round over edge on a 1/4 inch ply, but together they do make a nice round over. Maybe they have a bit for that, I don't have the bit. Either way, I'm going to separate these two and then glue them together. If the edges are at all off, that's easy to fix, but feeling the heft of the 2-ply actually is really nice. It has a really good feel to it, much more stable and sturdy. I think instead of making her 2, we're going to make her 1, and if she wants more later, I'll whip up a batch. With this glue up, I'm going to be using Titebond 3. This is an interior-exterior waterproof glue. The reason why I'm using this instead of Titebond 2 or even 1 is because it has a slower drying time, allowing me to get the edges just right. I ended up having enough spring clamps where I would put 1 shallow and 1 deep, hopefully providing more pressure in the center here. So I loaded up with glue here to keep that. I didn't want there to be any gaps in there, but I think the glue up went pretty smooth, and in the end the glue's gonna squeeze out, but I can round over it again. If I were to do this all over again, I would probably glue it first, then do the cutting and the round over. It would probably come out better that way. This is gonna be just fine. We're learning as we go. It's been long enough. It's time to take these off. Looks like the glue up went pretty well. There's a little squeeze out around the edges. I could sand it off, but I think I'm gonna take the router with the round over edge again and just do it that way. I couldn't be happier with the way the edges came out, so smooth. After making the lines look pretty with the 80 grit, I went back over with the 120 and then the 220, did the same thing with the inner ring. Now we're ready to sand the plywood. Now with plywood, it has a thin veneer, so I'm only gonna go 220 with my random orbital sander. We don't wanna take too much off. It's time to finish. I'm gonna take a damp rag and wipe it along the entire surface to raise the grain. Once that's dry, I'm gonna apply watco, wipe on poly, 1 coat, wait 4 hours minimum, and then add a second coat, wait 4 hours minimum again. Sand with 220 grit sandpaper with the grain. Once that's complete and I've cleaned the surface of all and any dust, that's when I apply the 3rd coat of wipe on poly. And in the end, looks pretty sharp. I already did one side, now I gotta do the other. I really like how this turned out, but I'm not gonna bore you with all the details, so you don't have to watch me do it. Taya, what are you making?
I'm making a bracelet.
A bracelet? Well, that looks really nice. Guess what I made?
What?
A painter's palette.
Thanks, Dad. Exactly how I wanted it.
Yeah, I think it turned out pretty well, huh? What do you think?
I think it's really nice.
You think you'll be able to use this for all your painting needs?
Yep.
Well, I think so too. I think it came out really smooth and nice. The finish came out just right on both sides. This project was a blast to make, and I know it's going to be real helpful for my daughter for all her painting needs. If you want to make a painter's palette, click on the links in the video description. We earn a small portion of profit from your purchases through Amazon to no extra charge to you. And that helps Dude Sawdust keep on going. Thanks for joining me. I'm Carpenter Logan. This is Dude Sawdust. And we'll see you on the next time.